is your Sunday coming along?
Oh, very well. Very well. Did a lot of work today.
Mhm.
Past my bedtime. I should warn you.
Uh, I'm sorry. I had to wake up 30 minutes earlier
I
today,
know.
but that's good.
I'm a morning person. We should have reversed this maybe.
No, not really. I just had to forfeit my morning run. Otherwise, I'd be awake by 6 a.m.
Yeah. I'm up at 3 o'clock.
Wow.
3 a.m. Yeah. So I try to go to sleep really early. But
Okay.
it's okay. Yeah. I love this. This is great.
Okay. So let's get started so that you can get your sleep early.
Yes. Yes. I need to. It's going to be a very exciting day tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't have your bio, so I'm just gonna go with a little intro that I made up, and then you can tell me if that's right.
Okay.
So I believe that you're a trader. You run a trading room. You're an author. You're a speaker, a renowned speaker. You're a musician, and you're also a mother. So
Yes.
how do you juggle all of that?
Well, my children are really not children anymore. They're adults. They're 18 and 20, so I don't really have to juggle them too much anymore. As far as my songwriting career, um, I worked on that for probably a decade, but I am not currently actively submitting my music. I've already submitted into libraries, and I get a check, a royalty check every couple months. I'm not actively pursuing that. Really, all my energy it goes into my live trading room. That's my focus. I'm there all day with my traders. I pretty much hold their hands through the trades every day, calling out live trades every day, and I love every single minute of it. It's I eat, breathe, dream. I'm watching the futures right now, and I'm actually in my trading room right now. We're open 24/7, and we were just discussing the futures. The futures are up big tonight. So it's going to be a great day. Trading always comes first. Um, however, I do love educating my traders. And, if you're just a trader by yourself, it's number one, it's very lonely. And number two, you only have two eyes. And I really feel that the secret to success is surrounding yourself with amazing people in your field. And when you do that, no matter what field it is, when you do that, you will go to the next level yourself personally. And so I realized 24 years ago, I used to run a live trading table, and every guy I traded added to my table. My table kept getting better and better and better. And now I have this online trading room where I have about 300 people in it. And I realized that by training these traders, my room has just become, so much more amazing than, if it would just be me trading by myself. So it really takes everybody to the next level. But I do, juggling. I think women juggle better than men do. Would you agree, Sylvia?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I think you can run a million things and still get some things done perfectly.
Yeah, it's about managing your time, right? And so I do work 7 days a week. I will admit it, I do. I worked yesterday, I worked today, but I did go out. My kids were here visiting me. I live in Las Vegas, and they came to visit me for 10 days. And we went to shows, and dinners Friday night, Saturday night. But I definitely did my work during the day. So, I'm able to juggle. But when you love what you do, like you don't mind doing it, for 16, 18 hours a day. And that's pretty much how I do it.
Okay. I think the reason as to why you do what you do, it's because you have some passion towards it. And so for you, it's not work. It's
No,
more than work.
not work at all. Never. I mean, I've been doing this since 1994, and I feel like I've never worked a day in my life.
That's good. That's really good. So just tell us how you got started into trading. Did you just jump
Oh,
right into finance, or how did you, was it an accident? What
no.
markets do you trade?
I never ever thought I would be a trader. You know, that's the most amazing part is I went to college and I studied psychology. Love psychology. Just love it. I never took a finance class. Just never thought that I could be capable of being a trader. You know, we didn't grow up, women, we just didn't grow up where our parents told us, hey, you should go to Wall Street, you know, you should be a trader or you should be an entrepreneur. You know, my parents told me to be a teacher. My mother always, from the moment I was, I don't even know, 10 years old, you should be a teacher. I had a tremendous amount of patience. But trading just happened accidentally, really. My girlfriend landed a job as a receptionist at Schoenfeld Securities, which was the largest prop firm, and she got invited to happy hour, and she didn't want to be the only female. So she called me up and said, Stephanie, you know, you want to come to happy hour with these traders? They make millions of dollars and they're really nice. They're really cool. I don't want to be the only woman. Please come. And so I said, okay, I'll come. And I met them and they were amazing, great guys. And one of them said that he lost $100,000 that year because he couldn't keep track of what he was buying and selling, and he really needed an assistant. Because do you know anybody? I said, well, actually, I could use a job right now. He said, really? So yeah. I said, can you start Monday? And this was Friday. I said, sure. That is how I landed in this industry. Seriously, I was in $1 million room. I had no idea about the stock market, and that was the best thing that ever happened to me because I didn't have any preconceived notions. I didn't have any bad habits, and I never thought I was going to be a trader. I was just this guy, Scotty. I was his assistant, and you know, after 2 years of doing that, being his assistant, he said that he was going to move to Florida because he wanted to move there. There's no state taxes. And I honestly thought I was going to be out of a job. And the firm we were working at, they said, hey, you want to trade? I said, really? Yeah, we'll give you $250,000. We want you to trade. You know what you're doing. And I said, okay. And that is honestly how I started out in this industry. And I did very, very well. My first year, I was Trader of the Year, and they gave me more money. And it was all great until I got pregnant.
So, so let me get this right, Stephanie. You started out as an assistant and then they trusted you with $250,000. How
Yes.
did that happen?
How did that happen? So it's
Yeah.
a prop firm. So prop firms lend money out to traders that they think can be successful. That's really what it is. And so they saw I was pretty much trading my boss's account. You know, after 2 years, I was yelling across the table at the clerk to buy Microsoft, sell Intel, buy Cisco. And I knew the system. It was this overnight momentum trading system. And so they were looking for traders that knew what they were doing. And being that I was trained for 2 years by the best, it was a
Okay.
no-brainer. They really had nothing to lose. So what they did was they cut you off. If you were down a certain amount of money, you were done. You know, and so again, we were paying high commissions. Every trade I did was like $24.99 in commissions. So think about it. You know, I'm doing 60 tickets a day. They're making a lot of money on the commissions. So even if you churned your account and you didn't even make money, they were making money off of you. So, but if you lost a certain amount, they cut you off. And I did very, very well, you know, so right off the bat. So I didn't have to worry about that. But some people came to the firm trading their own money. But it was great for, you know, I was 26 years old. So to be able to trade $250,000 account with, I think I had 4-to-1 buying power. Yeah, which was crazy. Yeah. No stress, you know, absolutely no stress. It wasn't my
Okay.
money, and I was never thinking about money. I think that's the secret to trading. When you don't think about money, just think about trading correctly.
I think also the advantage that you had is that when you started out at the prop firm, then you were dealing with, at that point, it was institution money, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So after that, you transitioned to being your own trader and trading your own money. Can you tell us the difference in your trading journey now between trading institutional money versus
Mm-hmm.
trading your own?
Sure. Well, it really didn't affect me at all, to be honest. I went from trading firm money to being a stay-at-home mom at first. I thought that I could do this at home, and I had kids back to back, 2 years apart, and I was just trading out of an IRA account. And I wasn't doing short-term trading. I was really just doing longer-term trading, and I did very, very, very well. But I wasn't monitoring, every day. That's when I got into the music business. I started writing music and writing songs. And I really just didn't get back into trading until about 2009. I came back full time into a live online trading room, and everybody just wanted to know what I was doing. What are you doing? They thought I was psychic. How did you know this? How did you know that? And so I just started teaching, and it was amazing. Yeah, it was really great. Everybody wanted to learn about the dark pool. Nobody knows about the dark pool. And it was just, really great to share my knowledge and help people. When I first started in this business, just trading, people would come up to me and they would say, what are you doing for society, Stefanie? You just sit at home and you make money for yourself trading. Like, you're doing nothing for people out there. What is your purpose in life? And at first, I was a little upset because I am making money, I'm supporting my family. And once I started teaching, I understood what they meant, because I had a purpose. I was helping people. And it was such a great feeling. I just wanted to help as many people as I could. And then now, right now, I have people that come up to me and they go, well, why are you teaching? Why are you doing this? If you're such a great trader, why don't you just sit at home and just trade by yourself? Why do you run a room? And why do you, it's like, and I go, you don't understand. Either way, I'm doomed. I'm saying I'm trading and I am helping people, and it's an amazing. People thank me every single day. I've called the last 13 out of 13 corrections, Sylvia. I am 13 for 13. I have saved people $100 to the point where they come and take me out to dinner wherever I am, because I've saved them thousands of dollars. And the feeling, imagine if you knew a correction was coming and you can tell thousands of people. How do you think you would feel, Sylvia?
Of course, I'd see you as an angel.
Right. It's an amazing feeling when you can say, hey guys, I see massive selling in this dark pool. That's what I do. It's an alternative exchange where all the big guys are trading. And when you see them selling, there's a special pattern, a signature share size that they use. And it's the same pattern every time we get a correction. And whenever I see it, I scream. I mean, I'm not just the stock whisperer, I'm like the scream whisperer. And I tell as many people as I can, that we're going to have a correction. And then when corrections are over, I do the same thing. I tell as many people as I can to go buy. In fact, last night we were at a show, and these people saw that I was the stock whisperer. And they're like, oh, what do we buy? I go, buy anything. It's like, where the market's going up right now. Buy anything. The futures are up right now. But I saw them buying last week. Actually, the dark pool was buying on, I'll tell you the exact date. Wait 1 second. My computer's a little bit, I think my computer wants to go to sleep. The day after Christmas, actually. It was on the 26th, 25th of December. They were buying and hiding their trades. Massive, 23 million hidden trades. So, there's manipulation that goes on in the stock market. And massive manipulation. And in order to be successful as a trader, you have to have an edge. Now, I don't get special phone calls. I don't pay for research. I don't know anybody. I am an old-fashioned tape reader, and that's my edge. And it's not that I'm calling stuff out and people can't see it. I actually educate people to see this, so they could do it on their own. If something happens to me, guess what? They could still trade on their own. And that's the best part.
And what is it that you do when you say you're a stock whisperer?
Oh, sure. So yes, teaching people how to fish is very, very important. A lot of people want to come into my trading room and just follow me. And while that's okay because they're learning, it's not okay if they don't understand what I'm doing. Why am I buying here? Why am I selling right here? And so that's why, running a live trading room and calling out trades in real time is so important. And, what I do is just follow the dark pool. The dark pool has been around forever. It used to be the upstairs room years ago. But it's really just an alternative exchange where the big guys like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Barclays, they do all of their big trades. And what the dark pool benefits are for them is they don't have to show one single share until their entire order is finished. So if they have 1 million shares they want to buy or sell, we don't see one share until it's filled. And so by following, and everybody can see this, this is not something you have to pay for. It's free. Okay, so I don't sell the dark. There are people out there that'll try to sell you it, and it's free. But I just show people how to use it and how to find that exact share size. So for example, the S&P 500 ETF, the SPY, the dark pool, when they're trading the SPY, they do share sizes of 501,000 shares and maybe 262, or 502,000, 503,000, and 504,000. It always starts with 501, 502, 503, 504. And that is what we call the Levis, because it's like, the Levi 501 jeans, the 502s, and it's their signature when it comes to trading the SPY. And whenever we see these trades, now they have 3 hours to report their trades, and that's okay, that's manipulating, but I spot trades that are 24 hours late. And this is where the biggest manipulation occurs. And they're allowed to do this because there's a loophole that if Goldman Sachs does a trade from their New York desk and they cross the trade to their London desk, they have 24 hours to report that trade.
Right.
Yeah, 24 hours. And so that's how they sell billions of dollars at the top without people seeing that day. It's the next day that we see these trades that start with 501, 502, 503. And when they are a really big, massive amount, when there are literally 23 million of them, I know that they're selling or they're buying. They're late. I call them the late prints, late trades. And that's really when I see it across the board on the SPY, the Russell, the NASDAQ, all 3 of them, and I see it 3 days in a row, I call a correction. And I've been right 13 for 13 times. So again, there's just this manipulation. And again, it's the dark pool. It's reading the tape. We're a technical market. Nothing is run on fundamentals. Nothing. The news makes up a story every day. Why is the market up? Why is the market down? I already know before I came in. Before the futures open, I knew we were going to be up because the dark pool's been buying for days now. Late dark pool buy prints is what we call them. And again, it's the same pattern for years. And I wrote a book called Dark Pool Secrets. And if you live in the US, you can get it for free. If you go to darkpoolsecrets.com, and you just have to pay for shipping. And I show you pictures, of these trades in the book. And, once you see this, it's life-changing. When you see how these big guys are manipulating the market, you definitely, okay, at first it's disturbing because you just can't believe that this manipulation happens. But then it's like, okay, well, this is what it looks like, and we can all profit. Us little people can profit off of it. And that's really why I teach and why I do what I do, is to really just help the little people.
You said that you're technically oriented in your trading,
Yes.
and that you don't need the news to,
No.
do your trading.
Nope.
So how do you how do you, can you just elaborate your trading process, how you know, get into the markets, how you execute and how you exit?
Yeah, well, that I need 50 hours to teach you how to do that.
Okay, briefly.
No, so it's really just break it down really simple. So we get a big trade that comes in. I'm a day trader and an overnight swing trader, and I stick with the trend. Okay, so I used to the 8 exponential moving average on a daily chart. That's one of my favorite moving averages for the trend. And when a stock goes above that, I turn bullish. And if we have a huge print, a huge trade in the dark pool, I will enter at the next major level above the print. So we're trading against computers. They trade off dollar increments, 50-cent increments. I generally go to the next 50-cent increment. I trade options. I buy out of the money options that are dirt cheap. Okay. They don't see a move coming. Okay. I'm seeing the trade on the stock, but I'm using the options as a vehicle. So if I'm wrong, if I guess the wrong direction, right, I'm only going to lose a very little bit amount of money. But if I'm right, and I'm right a lot more times than I'm wrong, and I hate to use right and wrong, it's just being on the right side of the tape. So if it looks like they're buying and they're not, and the stock ends up going below the trade, below the big print that we saw, I'll go short. I don't mind if I'm in the wrong direction. I will switch in 2 seconds, and vice versa. If I think it's selling and then we end up going up, I'll just go long. But it's just being on the right side of the print, the right side. You're following the big guys, and I'm using out of the money options, buying them really cheap and selling them when they go at the money, usually. And I just keep rolling them up and rolling them. I'm not going to try to peg the top of the move. I'm just going to keep rolling until the last trade doesn't work out. And again, I'm buying these options for like 10 cents, 20 cents, and I'm selling them for 40, 50, a dollar, sometimes $2. So that's really how I manage risk versus reward. And I have a huge advantage. I am following the money. I'm following the volume. This is what's moving the market up and down, is strictly the volume. And
Okay.
it's easy. I can teach anybody how to do this.
Okay. So that means that then your trading is rule based, that you know, you look at the market, you follow the trend. If this happens, then this is what you do. If this does not happen, then this is what you do.
Correct.
So you give yourself an allowance to know, to let the market do what it does, and then you act according to what. That's what I'm hearing you say.
Yes, I'm completely like a robot. It's completely mathematical. It's precise, just based on numbers and levels. That's all it is. Yeah, and again, I am in stuff before news comes out, upgrades, downgrades, you name it. Look, there's somebody that knows something at JP Morgan, right? They know something and they trade off of it. I see their trade and I just follow them. And then of course, my whole room is always in stuff, and then news comes out and then we get out, into the news rather than trying to trade off news.
Okay, so there's, now that we're discussing about news, there's this question that a member of STL asked me to ask you. And he asked, what would you say about the current market outlook, um, given that, you know, there's this slowdown in China's economy, there's the increase in the Fed's interest rates, and that Trump is supported with that, and the collapse of the Europe and emerging markets. How would that affect, you know, the US macro environment right now?
Yeah, so I'm not an analyst. I'm a trader.
Okay.
I'm not going to analyze the news and tell you what the market should do. I'm just going to trade whatever the market does do. I
And
don't
so,
I don't care what's going on. No, because you know what? It's really negative. You know how many people are losing money right now because they're short and the
yeah.
futures are up? Tons. But if you just follow the tape, you would be long. There was massive prints on Apple. Okay, I don't care. They had bad news. There was huge buying that went on this week in Apple, Facebook, the
Yeah.
SPY. I could give you a whole set. Nvidia, bank stocks. Massive buying came in on bank stocks 2 weeks ago. So again, emerging markets. Let's talk about Brazil, EWZ. That was one of my recommendations last week, and PBR up huge. Again, I don't know what's going on. I really don't care what's going on in these countries. I'm only following these huge trades, and they're leading me in the right direction. And that's the secret to trading.
Okay. And so what would you say, how do you evaluate a good trade? Like what leads you to know what's a good trade and how would you classify as a good trade?
Yes, there are days where I'll make a lot of money on a lot of different stocks, and I'll always tell my traders, you know what? My best trade was where I lost 13 cents on the QQQ options, where I lost 13 cents. You know why? Because I only
Mhm.
lost 13 cents. It's my best trade. It wasn't the trade I made thousands of dollars in. It was the trade that I only lost a little bit in. That for me, if you keep your losers small and you accept them, they're healthy, they're normal. I have trades that don't work out every single day. I don't care. It didn't work out. I'm only going to add on to trades that are working well. And I think that's the problem that so many people have. It's like they want to win on every trade and they freak out when a trade doesn't work out. And instead of just cutting it loose, they're adding on to it. Okay. And that's like the worst thing. You just have to, it's healthy. I know if I take 10 trades, 7 are going to work out and 3 are not. But guess what? The 7 that work out, I'm just going to keep riding them and adding and rolling up and rolling up. And maybe 4 out of those 7 are just going to keep going and 3 are not. Maybe I got a couple of rolls. And then out of the 4 that work out, I mean, that's it. That's my month right there. And so again, that's the secret, is that people just focus on the trades that don't work out and they don't accept it and they add in it, and it's like this big giant elephant in the room. And who cares? It's okay. It's so healthy and normal to have trades that don't work out, and that's the secret.
Okay, and that comes, of course, that has come with your level of experience, knowing that that's part of the trading, accepting losses and moving on, cutting them short, I think. So,
Yeah.
Stephanie, when we're almost winding up, but before that, you can, over the years, you have mastered this craft and you can tell us how you evaluate your performance. Has that helped you in becoming a better trader? Do
Mhm.
you statistically track and evaluate your performance? And on that, I saw your recent Facebook post on, I think it was 120% return in just 4 days. I mean, how do you do that?
Yeah, so the best way that I document is to do a YouTube video every week with my recommendations, where I give levels where I'm bullish above and bearish below. And we have a huge legal department, because obviously we have claims. I'm on television. And so how it works with my recommendations is I have 2 days for, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Okay, I just had something came up on my computer that says performance problem. Okay, so they have 2 days to go above or below my bullish above level or bearish below, and they have 5 days to run. So what you saw on Facebook was my weekly recommendations to my traders, and hitting targets. I set targets for them to hit. Now, obviously, I can't take down all those trades at one time. I'm one person. I'm running a room. But I call out every single one of my trades in my room live as I'm doing it. And I'm going to tell you that that's what keeps me disciplined. That's what keeps me focused. That is what keeps me in line. I mean, imagine there's so many people out there that are only calling out trades that are winners, right? And you see it
Mhm.
on social media. I made this, I made that, I made this. They're not calling out trades that they lost on, but I'm in the spotlight. I'm sharing my screen. I am calling out everything in my room. Everything is accountable in my room. If something's not working out, my traders be like, well, what about that stock? What are you doing about that one? Right. And so that is really what is the best thing for me. That I love it, because it just keeps me disciplined, and it keeps me following my rules. Because if I'm not doing what I'm teaching my traders to do, they're going to call me out on it. And so it keeps me in line. I can't do anything stupid. I can't and I'll tell them, look, guys, I'm breaking my rule on this trade, but I'm risking $10. Okay. And so again, they know, if you're going to do something that maybe is a little bit outside your comfort zone, to only do it with a very small amount of risk where you don't care if I lose everything on this trade. I think that's really the key.
Okay.
Being accountable, right? And so again, that's and not even that, I learned so much from my traders. They call out stuff, and I never even did options until 3 years ago, where one of my traders taught me how to do options the way that I trade, and changed my life. Because when you trade options, you have to know how to trade first. That's the secret. But when you trade options, you can take positions you wouldn't normally take trading stocks. I don't need to put a large sum of money into a trade anymore. I don't have to have a $1 million account. I mean, I'm trading options that are dirt cheap, and it really keeps your risk really, really low. And it's exponential. I mean, they can just go from 5 cents to 50 cents if you get a big move. And for me, that's really the best.
Okay. So you would advise guys with less amount of capital to look into options as well.
Yes, but you have to learn how to trade first, because you can
Yeah.
lose if you don't know how to trade, you're going to lose more money trading options. That's not a good thing. That the key is learning how to trade, especially day trading, because then your skills are sharpened, your trading speed with really record entries and exits are amazing, and you really need those skills when you trade options.
Okay. And then you said that you're a swing trader by night and a day trader by day.
Yes, I
How
do.
does that work? I think most people just either focus on, doing the long-term trading or doing either, short-term. So how do you do it?
Yeah, so there's times to day trade during earnings season. Actually, this market has been the best for day trading, the best. So I've been putting on strangles overnight a lot of times. It's been a really good strategy right now. You're buying out of the money calls, out of the money puts really cheap. You're just going for an overnight gap in either direction. And then as soon as the market opens up, I'm day trading. So I did that with Apple going into Friday, Thursday night into Friday. And then as soon as Apple moved above 145, I added to my call side. And so again, there's different strategies to use it, but I love both. Again, it depends on where the market's at, where it lines up on the daily chart, how it closes. It could be closing at a bad spot, and then I'm not going to swing overnight. I'll day trade the next morning. And when there's great swing nights, then day trading is not great. So you really should learn how to do both. It definitely gives you a huge edge.
Okay. So, Stephanie, I think you can just tell us now, um, if you have a trading philosophy, what that is, and what you normally tell beginning traders as well as experienced traders, who want to do this for the long term, not like a hobby, for the long term.
Yeah, so my big philosophy is no thinking. Every time that I think the stock, market should go up or down, I'll lose money. But just reading the tape is so important, and so such a key element. New traders, please, respect your money. Don't trade with it yet. Okay, you have to learn. Again, I paper traded really for 2 years. I didn't do one trade until I was fully trained. And when I do presentations, I always ask the audience, how many of you paper traded for 1 year before you did your first trade? Like maybe one hand will go up in the audience. Okay. People think that, they're successful in another career, a doctor, an engineer, that they could just open a trading account and be successful because they're smart, they're intellectually, they went to college, they got a master's, and I can be a trader, and they're not traders. This is something that you really need to hone your craft. You have to get a good education. Education is key. You have to be educated by good people, and not even that. 90% of trading is psychological. So if I train 100 people, okay, my rules, how many of those people, Sylvia, do you think are going to be able to follow like my 10 rules of day trading?
Very few, like about 10%.
Probably, probably. Right. Can you follow rules? Are you disciplined? This is the most important thing. I learned that my first day on the job as an assistant. My boss was up like $20,000 and he started freaking out, okay, throwing a chair across the room. And I didn't understand why he would be upset when he's up $20,000. And he told me he didn't get out of Intel when he should have. I said, what do you mean? I should have gotten out. I'm like, well, where do you get out? Well, 3/4 off the high. And so he told me his rules, and I made sure he never broke his rules again because it doesn't have anything to do with the money. It has to do with discipline. If you lose your discipline, it's very, very hard to get that back. There's nothing to do with an ego. There's so much, psychological and outside stuff besides your trading plan that is so important to trading, and you have to master that. You have to master the market and master yourself, those two things. And a lot of people are too emotional. They don't have emotional stability, and they should not be a trader. A lot of traders have come to me over the years, and I've given them emotional stability tests to take, and they were very, very high. They scored not great on them. And we found out where other problems lie. They were nervous, they were anxious. And you can't be a nervous, anxious person when you're trading. You really have to be calm. You have to be confident in your system. And then you have to be confident in yourself. That's huge. Very, very big stuff. So paper trading is a great way to figure out, number one, can you follow the system? Then once you're done with paper trading, you start with small amounts. Because if you all of a sudden start trading differently with real money, then you have an issue with money itself.
Yeah.
And you have to deal with that. So there's two different things, right? So, oh boy, this is where my psychology degree comes in, Sylvia. I really am like a
Keep
trading,
going.
yeah, I'm a trading psychologist, and I love it because that for me is what helps my traders, not a business degree that I could have had. If I had a business degree, we would all be losing money because I would tell it be analyzing earnings, and we would just be trading just awful. Instead, I don't even look at it. I know they're coming out with earnings, but I don't care. I'm following the price action. Again, there's so much that I want to teach you today, but I can't. But again, I have a book. It's free, darkpoolsecrets.com. You can go there and order a copy. You just have to pay for shipping, and there's also a DVD as well. You can follow me on StockTwits and Twitter. I have tons of videos on my website, thestockwhisperer.com. YouTube, I have 5 years of educational videos. If anybody's interested in learning more, go ahead and watch them. And you can always email me, Stefanie at thestockwhisperer.com. That's with an F. And I would be happy to, help anybody out.
Okay, Stephanie, you're gonna do a favor and email me your details on email so I can link them on the show notes.
Sure.
Otherwise, it was very good speaking to you, Stephanie. I loved your energy. Um, I love your discipline, and I hope our traders are going to pick a thing or two that can help them in their trading this year. So thank you very much. Hope we can have you again in the future.
Yeah, my pleasure. I love helping out. Anytime you want me to come on again, I would love to do it. My pleasure. Thank you, Sylvia.